It's the push-up.
Okay.
You might be thinking, hold on a second, is this a fitness podcast now? But bear with us because it's way more interesting than that.
Right.
We're actually looking at an article from the Times of India, and this article talks about some pretty fascinating research that links your ability to do push-ups
Right.
to the health of your heart.
Yeah, that's right. It goes way beyond just building muscle. We're talking about something that could actually strengthen your heart, too.
Exactly. So this whole deep dive is really about uncovering what this research actually tells us, how many push-ups we should be aiming for realistically,
Right.
and really what it all means for, just your overall well-being.
So the study that kind of started all of this was published in the JAMA Network back in 2019.
Hmm.
And what they found was that men who were able to do 40 push-ups
Wow.
had a significantly lower risk of developing cardiovascular disease over a 10-year period
Oh, wow.
compared to men who could only do 10 or even less.
So significantly lower, like what kind of numbers are we talking about here?
We're talking 96%.
96% less likely.
Less likely to experience heart problems.
Wow. That number really makes you stop and think about push-ups in a whole new light, huh?
It does.
It's not just about strength anymore. It's like a window into the health of your heart.
It really is. And
Yeah.
it kind of begs the question, why are push-ups such a good indicator of heart health? Well, part of it is that push-ups are just a fantastic measure of muscular strength and endurance.
Okay.
They really demand a lot from your muscles, but also from your cardiovascular system.
So it's not just about, how much weight you can push, but also like how long you can keep pushing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And a heart that can handle that kind of sustained effort is going to be a healthier heart overall.
makes sense.
Now, I know some people are probably wondering, okay, but how many push-ups should I be able to do?
Right.
The Times of India article actually pulls some target numbers from the Mayo Clinic.
Okay.
They break it down by age and also gender. So, for example, for women in their 20s, a good fitness level translates to being able to do about 20 push-ups.
Okay. So for guys in that same age range, we're looking at something closer to 28.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, those are general guidelines, not like strict rules or anything.
Right. You really have to
Yeah.
listen to your body and work at a pace that feels right for you.
Of course.
And naturally, these targets kind of shift a little bit as we get older.
Sure.
So for women in their mid-30s, we're looking at around 19 push-ups.
Okay.
And for men, it's about 21.
Got it. So by the time we hit our mid-40s, the targets drop a bit more.
Yeah.
14 for women and 16 for men.
It might seem a little counterintuitive that the targets go down as we age,
Yeah,
but it really reflects the natural changes that happen in our bodies over time.
that's true. Maintaining muscle mass and strength gets a little tougher as we get older, but that's exactly why staying active is so important.
Exactly.
It really helps us counter those natural declines.
It does.
So let's fast forward to our mid-50s, and the targets become 10 push-ups for women and 12 for men. And then by the time we reach our mid-60s, it actually evens out to 10 for both men and women.
Interesting.
I'm curious, where do you land on this push-up spectrum? Below target. Right on target. Exceeding it. Whatever your answer, it's a great place to start assessing your overall fitness level.
And if you're thinking, hold on a second, I can barely manage one push-up, don't worry about it. The article mentions a really helpful modification, knee push-ups.
Okay.
They're a fantastic option for building that strength and working your way up to those full push-ups.
It's all about progress, not perfection. Right.
Exactly. Small, consistent efforts are really the key.
That's a good point.
But for those who are already pretty comfortable with push-ups, let's take a closer look at why this exercise is so effective.
Okay.
It's not just about brute force. You're actually engaging multiple muscle groups simultaneously.
So break it down for us. What's happening in our bodies when we do a push-up?
Well, you're working your chest, your triceps, your shoulders, and even your core muscles are getting involved.
Really?
It's truly a full-body movement that builds strength and that very important endurance.
And as we've learned, that endurance translates to a healthier and more resilient heart.
Absolutely. The findings in this study really highlight the strong connection between muscular endurance and our cardiovascular health.
So maybe we can switch gears a little bit here and dig a bit deeper into the study itself.
Sure.
What makes this study so interesting?
One thing that makes this study so interesting is that they didn't just rely on people saying how many push-ups they could do. They actually had participants do push-ups until they couldn't do any more in a controlled setting.
So they had real-time data on how many push-ups each person could actually do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about people's perceptions of their fitness.
Right, yeah.
It was a direct measurement of their actual ability.
That makes a lot of sense.
And the fact that they followed these participants for a whole 10 years allowed them to observe long-term health outcomes.
That's a pretty robust study.
It is.
It really adds to that growing body of evidence that links muscular strength and endurance to good heart health.
Right. Now, it is important to note that this study focused primarily on men,
Okay.
and more research is definitely needed to really explore these associations in women.
Sure. But I think the key takeaway here is that simple, accessible exercises like push-ups can be incredibly powerful tools for improving our overall health.
I think so, too.
All right.
Yeah. This whole push-up thing has got me thinking about other everyday activities that might be giving us little hints about our health.
Oh, like secret health indicators hiding in plain sight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Things we do without even realizing they might be reflecting, our overall well-being.
What comes to mind for you?
I don't know. What about you?
Well, the first thing that pops into my head is stairs.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we encounter them everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And how easily we handle them could be saying something about our fitness level.
Yeah, that's a great one. Stair climbing definitely gets your heart rate up, requires a certain level of leg strength and endurance.
For sure. If you're out of breath after just a couple of steps, it might be a sign that your cardiovascular system could use a little boost.
Right. On the flip side, if you can bound up a flight of stairs without breaking a sweat,
Yeah.
it suggests a pretty strong heart and lungs.
It's like a real-world fitness test, but without all the pressure of a gym setting.
Speaking of real-world tests, what about something as simple as standing on one leg?
Oh, yeah.
Remember those balance tests we used to do as kids?
Yeah, the classic stork stand. Brings back memories.
But seriously, I've heard that balance can be a surprisingly accurate indicator of overall health, especially as we get older.
That's true. Maintaining balance requires coordination, muscle strength, and proprioception.
Proprioception.
Yeah, it's our body's awareness of its position in space.
Oh, okay.
And as we age, these abilities can decline, but staying active and challenging our balance can help us stay sharp.
So if you can hold that one-legged stance for a good amount of time, it's probably a good sign that your balance and coordination are in decent shape.
Right, and if you find yourself wobbling all over the place,
Maybe it's a sign to incorporate some balance exercises into your routine.
even something as simple as standing on one leg while you brush your teeth can make a difference.
It's fascinating how these everyday activities really show how interconnected our bodies are.
Right.
It's not just about isolating specific muscles or focusing on one aspect of fitness. Our bodies work as a whole,
Yeah.
and the way we move through our day-to-day lives can reveal a lot about our overall well-being.
It's like a holistic view of health,
Yeah,
where even the simplest actions can give us valuable insights.
exactly. And it empowers us to take a more active role in our own health.
I like that.
We don't need fancy equipment or complicated formulas to understand our bodies. We can learn a lot just by paying attention to how we move and function in our daily routines.
Okay, so let's keep this brainstorming session going. How about something like carrying groceries?
Okay.
It's something we all do pretty regularly,
Yeah,
and it requires a certain degree of strength and stamina.
that's an interesting one. I hadn't thought about that before. But you're right, managing those grocery bags involves grip strength, upper body strength, and even core stability.
Right. If you're struggling to lift a bag of groceries, it could be a sign that your strength could use a little attention.
And not just for carrying groceries. Studies have actually shown that grip strength is linked to overall longevity and a lower risk of chronic diseases.
So our grocery runs are a secret workout in disguise.
In a way, they are. It just shows that fitness isn't just about going to the gym. It's about building that functional strength that helps us in our everyday lives.
So next time you're at the store, pay attention to how those grocery bags feel. It might be a little nudge to add some strength training into your routine.
And speaking of nudges, maybe we should take a moment to think about something really important here.
Okay, what's that?
It's not just about the physical actions themselves. It's also about the mindset behind them, the awareness.
Okay, can you explain that a bit more?
So think about it. When you're really paying attention to how you're moving, whether it's going upstairs, carrying groceries, or even just balancing on one leg, you're tuning into your body's signals.
Right, you're creating a feedback loop between your actions and how your body is responding.
Exactly. And that awareness can be really powerful because it helps you identify areas where you might need to focus more, whether it's strength, flexibility, balance, or even just being mindful of how you're moving.
So those everyday activities become like mini self-assessments, little checkpoints throughout the day to see how your body is feeling and functioning.
And those self-assessments can then motivate you to make some positive changes.
I see.
Maybe you realize you need to prioritize strength training or do more balance exercises or even just pay more attention to your posture.
It's all about connecting those seemingly insignificant moments to the bigger picture of our overall health.
And you know what I find really fascinating?
What's that?
These everyday activities aren't just indicators of our current health. They can actually give us insights into our future health, too.
Hold on, are we talking time travel in the health realm now?
The research has shown that certain things, like how fast you walk or how strong your grip is, can actually be pretty good predictors of how long you'll live and your overall health span.
So how I handle that walk across the parking lot could be telling me something about my golden years. That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. And it really emphasizes how important it is to take care of our bodies today as an investment in our future well-being.
It's like that saying, use it or lose it, but with a much deeper and longer-term meaning.
Exactly. And it brings us back to that thought-provoking question we asked before. What other everyday things might be giving us clues about our health?
I think there are so many possibilities, and the more we explore these connections, the more we can take control of our own well-being. It's pretty amazing to think that just doing things like walking or carrying groceries can tell us so much about our health.
Yeah, it really changes how we think about needing all those fancy tests to figure out what's going on with our bodies.
Exactly. It's all about tapping into what our bodies are already telling us.
It's like our bodies have their own language, and we just need to learn how to listen.
I like that.
And those messages can be hidden in the most everyday things.
Yeah.
We've talked about stairs balance and groceries, but there are probably so many more examples.
I bet there are. What about just getting up from a chair?
Oh, yeah,
Seems basic, but it actually uses a lot of lower body strength and flexibility.
you're right. If you find yourself struggling to get out of a chair, it could be a sign that your leg muscles need a little work.
Especially your quads and glutes, right?
Exactly.
Hmm.
And those muscles aren't just for getting out of chairs. They help us walk, climb stairs, and even stay balanced.
So really paying attention to how we do these everyday things can be really eye-opening.
For sure. It's a whole new way of thinking about fitness.
It's not just about hitting the gym, it's about making movement and strength a part of our everyday lives.
And it's not just about the physical benefits. There's a mental and emotional side to it, too.
Oh, absolutely. When we feel strong and capable in our bodies, it boosts our confidence in how we feel overall.
Exactly. It's about feeling empowered to move through the world comfortably and easily.
I love that. And it all starts with being aware.
Right. By paying attention to how our bodies feel and work in everyday situations, we start to understand what we're good at and where we might need to improve.
And that can motivate us to make changes like adding more strength training or working on flexibility or even just paying more attention to how we stand and move.
It's really a journey of getting to know ourselves better.
And it's something anyone can do no matter their age or fitness level.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into push-ups and heart health, we want to leave you with a challenge.
A challenge to look at those everyday activities, not just as things you have to do, but as opportunities to learn about your body.
Pay attention to how you move. Notice how you feel and use that information to make choices that support your overall health and well-being.
Because even the smallest things, when done with intention and awareness, can have a huge impact on our lives.
It's been great diving deep with you as always.
Same here.
And to all our listeners, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing yourselves to be the healthiest, strongest versions of yourselves. Until next time.